is a kind of a point-and-click adventure game where you basically have to walk around and pick up items and try to progress through this little story with this one character. One thing that's unique about this game is that it has like a starting area that has different little books that you can open and use, and you're going to utilize these in order to go through different parts of the story and to progress through the game. It's kind of hard to explain what that means, but basically you just have to, like, when you get to certain endings, then you need to do things a little bit differently to get to different endings, and you can utilize these books in order to do that. The game is pretty straightforward when it comes to the what you need to be doing, but like I said, each ending is going to be wildly different what you need to do, so you need to kind of be thinking about that while you're progressing through the game. I don't know that it's super easy to like pick up and figure out how to play, but overall, it isn't a terrible game. I'm not typically the type of person who likes these kind of games, but I actually found this one kind of interesting, and it works fine. Like, you know, like I said, it's a point-and-click adventure, so there's only so much that you have to do. But you just have to kind of progress and try to figure out what you need to do throughout into each areas. The map and stuff in the game is very small, so there's not a whole lot of different places you have to go. And that kind of benefits you because you can kind of just look at everything and figure out what you need to do. I do like the aspect of having multiple endings that you can do, and that when doing all those different endings, it actually completes the game in a sense, unlocking other things that you progress. It's a very interesting concept for a game. I think there's other games out there like this, but I haven't really got on my way to find them. It's better than I expected because I typically don't play these style of games, and I kind of went into it thinking that it was probably just going to be something that I wouldn't like very much or care about any much at all. But if you like little games that you can kind of search around and figure out the puzzle of what you need to do in order to get different endings, then you might actually like this, okay? It's also a pretty easy achievement game, though I think you're probably going to need to figure out a guide at some point in order to figure out all the achievements, because getting all the different endings, I got like 4 or 5 in my first in the first like couple hours I played it, which was good for 400 or 500 points. But I found that I was not certain what I needed to do, and I was taking my time trying to figure out as I was going. So it's kind of, you know, with a guide, this will be a lot faster, I think, because, you know, I'm assuming that that it would take, you know, 5 or 6 minutes if you actually knew what you needed to do in each area. But or per like achievement, I should say. But yeah, I'm gonna give the game a 7 out of 10 because it's definitely better than I expected, and it's not a bad little game. I mean, you know, you could do a lot worse. Obviously, you're gonna have to be into these types of games, these point-and-click adventure games, and maybe you're gonna have to like this kind of Japanese style that this game puts out there. And again, neither of those two things are things that I go out of my way to look for in games. But overall, it's actually not a bad little game. I've played a heck of a lot of games in these categories that are much worse than this one. And so this one is actually a little bit interesting and fun to play. So I definitely recommend it from that perspective. I also recommend it from an achievement perspective. And that's pretty much all I have to say. If you do end up picking up the game, let us know in the comments what you think about it. And have a nice day.